I should have never watched it. The VHS was sitting in a box of old junk I bought at a flea market. No label, just scratched black plastic worn by time. At first, I ignored it. Then that night, while sorting through the tapes, I dropped it. And when I picked it up, I noticed something. A symbol scratched into the surface, three vertical lines, and one horizontal above them, like a tally mark or a warning. I don't know why, but it made me uncomfortable. Still, curiosity won. I plugged in my old VCR. It barely worked. The sound of the tape loading already felt wrong. Black screen, static, then image. A room. It looked like a kitchen, old, maybe from the 90s. The footage was distorted, like it had been recorded over multiple times. No one was there, just silence. I waited 10 seconds, 30, a minute. Then something moved. Not in the room, behind the camera. A sound, breathing. The image shook slightly, like someone touched the recorder, and then it stepped into frame. A man, or something that looked like one. Thin, too thin. His head tilted slightly, like his neck couldn't hold it up. He stood in front of the camera, doing nothing, not speaking, just staring, straight into the lens, straight at me. I tried to turn it off. The remote didn't work. I pressed the button on the VCR. Nothing. The tape kept playing. The man smiled, but it wasn't normal. Too wide, like his skin wasn't meant to stretch that way. Then he spoke, but I didn't hear anything. His lips moved, but the audio was just static, and yet I understood him. "You're still here." I froze. That wasn't possible. No subtitles, no audio, but I knew exactly what he said. Then he took a step forward. The image warped. The room stretched unnaturally. Another step, then black. I thought it was over, but the tape kept going. Black screen, then a sound. A phone ringing. A new image appeared. It was my house, my living room. Recorded from the corner, from above, like a security camera, except I don't have any cameras. And the phone was actually ringing right next to me. I looked, my phone, vibrating, unknown number. I didn't want to answer, but the VHS changed angle. Now it showed me, sitting there, watching the screen. At that exact moment, I answered, "Hello?" Silence. Then the same static and a voice. My voice. "Don't look behind you." My heart stopped. I tried not to move, not to breathe, but on the VHS screen, something appeared behind me, a tall figure, still, head tilted, the same man, slowly on the screen. He stepped closer until he was right behind me. Then he raised his hand toward my shoulder. I felt something, a light pressure, a touch. I turned around, nothing there. I looked back at the screen. The figure was gone, only me, sitting. But I wasn't still on the video. I was turning again, slowly, toward the camera, and then I smiled. But I wasn't smiling. At least, I don't think I was. The screen went black. The tape stopped. Silence. I ejected. My hands were shaking, and there on the side, something had changed. Four vertical lines, and one above, one more than before. Since that night, I haven't touched that VHS, but sometimes the VCR turns on by itself, and the phone rings, always at the same time, 3:17. I never answer, because once I made the mistake of looking at the screen, and for a second I saw something, not me, someone else sitting in my place, watching me. Written on the tape, there were only three words: "Do not rewind," in red marker, all caps. I thought it was a joke or some kind of art project. I found it inside the VCR of an apartment I had just rented. The owner never mentioned it. No explanation, no warning, just that VHS already inside. I should have thrown it away. Instead, I pressed play. Black screen, then a metallic sound, like something dragging, and the image appeared, a hallway, long, narrow, lit by a flickering light. The quality was terrible, but the camera was fixed, like a security feed. Nothing happened, just that sound. Skrrr, 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 like nails against something hard. Then a figure at the end of the hallway, standing still, too far to see its face. It didn't move, but the sound did. Skrrr, skrrr. And slowly, the figure started getting closer. It wasn't walking, it was dragging itself, body stiff, arms at its sides, head completely bent backward, as if staring at the ceiling. I felt a chill. I grabbed the remote, fast forward. The image skipped. The figure was closer, much closer, too close. I stopped, pressed play again. Now it was halfway down the hall, and the sound louder. Skrrr, skrrr, skrrr. Like it was right behind the door. I paused. The figure froze, perfectly still. I waited. Nothing. Then I did something stupid. I rewound. The tape started going backward, and then it happened. The figure didn't move. The hallway reversed. The lights, the sound, everything. But not it. It stayed there, frozen, halfway, like it didn't belong to the footage, like it was on top of it. My stomach dropped. I pressed stop, play again. The figure was closer than before, much closer. That made no sense. I had to rewound. It should have been farther away, but it wasn't. It was only a few steps from the camera, and its head was no longer bent backward. It was straight, and it was looking at me. I heard a noise inside my apartment, behind me. I turned. Silence. When I looked back, the hallway was empty. I exhaled too soon, because the video wasn't over. The camera moved, slowly, like someone picked it up. It wasn't fixed anymore. It showed a room. My room. My living room. Identical. Every detail, same chair, same table, and someone was sitting there, facing the TV. My heart started pounding. On the tape, the camera got closer, step by step, toward that person. I already knew who it was, before I even saw. The camera stopped behind the chair, and the person started rewinding. The sound of tape, going backward. I look at my VCR. It was rewinding on its own. I wasn't touching it. On the tape, the person stopped, then slowly turned their head, not all the way, just enough to show one eye. It was mine. I screamed and unplugged everything. Silence. Too much silence. After a few minutes, I plugged it back in. The VCR was off. The tape was still. I ejected, and I saw something new, scratched into the side. "Now you know why." I never watched it again, but sometimes I still hear that sound, skrrr, skrrr, inside the walls. And once, I made the mistake of rewinding another tape, not that one, just a random one, and for a single frame, just one, I saw the hallway and her much closer.